I think as people are refining their foundations, core values, building this operations manual, sometimes that leads to the need to have uncomfortable conversations. So, what is the most common uncomfortable conversation that new owners often avoid, and what does it cost them?
I think every year I send out like a little well, I send out birthday presents too, but a little Christmas gift to our mastermind members, all 200 and something of them. And this year I sent out a hoodie and then a little gold plaque that goes on your desk that says, "It's a great day to have a difficult conversation." And the number of people that I got that sent like a little selfie with themselves and that plaque and saying that I'm about to have one of these difficult conversations right now. Thanks for the reminder. Like it's probably been the most popular present that I've ever sent out. So yes, when it comes to business ownership, here's the thing. The difference between an owner and an employee is the fact that we get paid for difficult things as the owner. We have to take risk. We have to fire people. We have to hire people. We have to take the emotional load of a lot of responsibility of being the shepherd of this organization and actually kind of making sure that you're doing right for all the people on your team. I like to see and look at a business as a living and breathing organism. And you are responsible for keeping this living and breathing organism healthy, because this organism is responsible for supporting you, CEO, and your family, and each person on the team and their families. So this organism and keeping it healthy is the most important thing, period. Right? So what I see happen a lot, and most of the difficult conversations that need to happen come down to toxicity in the workplace, lack of performance, cultural divide. And that's where if you bury your head in the sand and you're not a strong leader and you're not able to recognize what's happening in your practice, and once you recognize it, be willing to have what feels like an incredibly difficult conversation with people that you might like or trust, that is the difference between a very successful organization and one that will either stay average forever or will be a miserable place to work for everybody. So a lot of times those difficult conversations, either that is freeing somebody to a new future that is very toxic in your organization. That's a hard thing to do. I always say that like it never gets easier when I have to let somebody go. And I can't even count the number of people that I've had to fire over the years. It never gets easier, and you never want it to get easier. Right? You don't want to lose your soul in this whole process of being a very successful business person. It should always hurt your heart when you have to let somebody go. And I'll talk more about that later, but you should never let somebody go. It should never be a surprise that you're letting somebody go, right? Unless they do something horrible that is way out of character and you just have no other choice. But okay, so back to the difficult conversations. So difficult conversations need to happen when you recognize that somebody needs behavioral modification or some sort of increase in performance, or they're just not a good culture fit for the practice. Those are the main reasons that I see people having to have these difficult conversations, but they're so difficult and so hard to do that many people will wait an entire career and never do it. And people fear that more than anything. And I get it, because you don't want to hurt people's feelings. You don't want to upset the apple cart. They might be a good producer. They might be a good clinical fit, but they're just a toxic person for the company, for the organization. So I will always default back to, are they making the organization more or less healthy? And if you really believe in a strong culture is one of the main core principles of building a very wildly successful practice, then no matter how much they produce or how valuable their skill set is to the infrastructure of your organization, you can't thrive with a culture of toxicity. Right? Just because somebody runs, a 4-minute mile, if they have cancer, they still have cancer. You have to eradicate the cancer before you can get them to be an elite level athlete.